What's up guys, Dhruval here back with another video, and in this video I'm going to show you how to transform photo of this girl into an angel. So let's get started. So as you guys can see here, I'm going to use these 4 images for my manipulation, and if you want to use any of these images, the download link is in description, so feel free to use them. And now onto the tutorial. So my original image is already open inside Photoshop, and if you want you can go to file and open as many images you want. Now I'm gonna double click and unlock this layer. So first of all, obviously we need to cut her from the background. So I'm going with quick selection tool, and as every time I say, pen tool would be better, but quick selection is also good, but pen tool gives even better results. So this image is quite simple, red in front of cream, so quick selection will work really good with this one. And I think even in the original file I used quick selection and not pen tool, so that's unusual because every time I try to use pen tool, and because that is kind of gives you ability to use it pixel by pixel, so that's great. Now this image is kind of done with selection, so that looks pretty good. Okay, we missed it here, so you can try making brush smaller, bigger, and that kind of experiment, but after CS6 the selection system has been really improved, so that is kind of a really nice selection there. And once you are done with your selection, as you can see here, there is little icon that is mask icon, so just apply it and your background will be cut. It is still there, but the rest of unnecessary part is hidden, so that looks great. Now as you can see here, edge of her hair is looking really terrible, and to do that, right click on your layer mask, not here, on your layer mask. So people sometimes get confused with this thing, so make sure you have selected your layer mask. Now right click on your layer mask and select refine mask, and in refine mask you have to do nothing, just select smart radius and then increase your radius by some point. Now if you are going to use different image, your output might be different, so it's not necessary the same number I use will work for you. So as you can see, maybe 30 is looking really, no, that's way too much, so let's go back to 16. Okay, that is kind of working. 18 maybe. Okay, that's great, and hit OK. So if I press Ctrl Z, you can see the difference it makes. That is really great. Sometimes you can use that tool it offers, but that is just not fun. So this is great, and if you have this type of edges, just grab your brush, right click, make it kind of 70-80% hard, and make it smaller, and paint with white color in your mask like this. Oops, that's black color, white color. Okay, so paint with white color and you can bring back anything you lost, so that is kind of helpful. And if you want to remove anything, just paint with black color. So I'm gonna click here, and then I will hold my shift key and again click here, so it will remove every other unnecessary part. So you can always tweak kind of things like this, so that is the thing I love about mask a lot. So enough with the masking, and the image is looking pretty good, it's usable now. Oops, something here. Okay, paint with black color and remove it. Okay, that's, oops, way too much. Okay, that is great. Now we need to make her look in other direction, because that was the composition I liked better. So press Ctrl T, right click and select flip horizontal, and it will flip your image. Now we need to make the canvas a bit bigger, because this is kind of really small and it doesn't look that nice. So I'm gonna select my crop tool here and make sure the delete crop pixel is off, it's not checked. See? Now make it bigger, something like this from this angle, and even stretch a little bit here. Don't worry about the unnecessary part, I will show you how to deal with that. So this is kind of looking really great right now, so that is enough space in background for her. Now hit enter. Now obviously when we will put the background, we need to fill in these areas. So the one thing you can do is clone, and that is the thing I'm gonna do. Sorry, we don't have any kind of shortcut for this one, but you can use this thing to help you. So make sure you have selected your rectangle marquee tool and feather is 0%. Now create a new blank layer, as you can see here, and let's name it clone. It's the left side, so let's name it left clone and hit enter. Now you need to make a selection, it shouldn't be taller than this one, so it should be something like this, so it can level with your original layer. see, we need to, the place where she is standing, maybe it's a pillar or something, I don't know, but you need to be little accurate and be careful while using this thing, otherwise it will screw up the whole perspective. So that is one perfect selection, I'd say. And now select your clone tool, and if you want the right click, and my hardness is like at 50%, and select also here make sure you have current and below, not current or not all, current and below. And then select your clone tool and start painting in this area like this. Now this is terrible, so press Ctrl Z and try cloning from a bit top. So if you are cloning here, select from here, and now I'm just gonna paint in this area like this, and then I'm gonna select something from far, something here, and then I'm gonna paint here again. That's great. Now select here, click here on the clone. We need to make it straight, so click here. Then it will show you that you are going right or wrong. So once you match this line here, click. Now go directly to the end, and now shift click. So again click here and then do a shift click. So this way you can make really straight lines without any problems. So that is great. And now I'm gonna do a little bit here, and then same as like we did a few seconds ago, do here and then a bit here. You can also clone it from here, since it's just a texture, so you don't have to worry about like colors and lighting that much. So I'm just gonna make it, okay, that's way too dark, and I'm gonna clone it from here, and then a bit of cloning from here. So this stuff can sometimes take hours. Yes, I have spent hours doing cloning in few images. So if you take hours, don't worry about it. And now we need to get rid of this line. So click here and start painting here, something like that. Yep, that's great. And I'm gonna remove this part from here. So that is looking kind of terrible. So I'm just gonna remove this lip from here. Okay, that is great. And then let's do it here. Actually, we do not need to remove the lip. And now this is the important part. If you look at closely, you can see it is cloned, right? But you can make it better. Just remove this little cracks, and don't remove them totally, but just remove some of them so it looks even more uneven. Because if it looks repeated, anyone can say that you cloned it, but if it does not look repeated, you can get away with it. So it is kind of a terrible job I'm doing right now. But yeah, if you spend like half an hour or something, you can make it way better than this one. My target is just to show you that how it can be done. So I did that, and now you just have to follow the steps. So take your time, paint carefully, and everything will be fine, believe me. So that is kind of okay-ish work. Great. Now you need to make copy of this, your original layer. So let's name it model, and now duplicate it by pressing Ctrl J. Now press Ctrl T, right click, and select flip horizontal again. Hit enter. Hold your shift key and select your move tool from here, obviously, and hold your shift key and match it here. So as you can see here, keep holding shift key and keep it a little bit here, and okay, that is perfect. And as you can see here, it looks repetitive because we just simply flipped the whole image. But we can do the same thing, just create a new blank layer and name it right clone. And before you do any cloning, right click on this copy mask which we just flipped here, right click and select apply layer mask where it is. So you don't have any trouble with masking, your mask is gone and you do not need that. Now go back to your clone layer, select your clone tool, and you do not need to clone everything, just remove this repetitive areas as you can see here, which makes it look a bit weird. So that is great. And I'm just gonna paint a bit here and on this area too a little bit, and a bit darkish, and oh my god, that is way terrible. So I'm just gonna press Ctrl Z. Just zoom in, sometimes make your brush smaller, that can help too a lot. Yeah, see, that's going okay, better, at least better than before. But these things, oh my god, I cannot follow this properly in tutorials because time. Last time when I did it, I spent kind of a lot of hours, like maybe an hour in just perfecting this cracks and stuff. So that is way terrible. So that is kind of okay. No, not that much. You might be thinking that he's doing terrible job, and you are kind of right, but I don't have any other option. You now know how to do this thing, so that is great. And sometimes if it doesn't work out, just go crazy and clone everything out. Yeah, don't worry about single crack, just screw up everything and everything will be fine. And let's do the same thing here. I think half of the tutorial is gonna go into cloning explanation, because that's actually the important part of this tutorial, like changing the sky and that. Yeah, that's kind of easy compared to this one. So somehow we managed to do this, and that is kind of looking believable surprisingly. So I'm just gonna do a bit of cloning here, and see, that's great. Now select your model layer and shift click on the last layer, so it will select all of this, and then press Ctrl E and it will make it a single layer like that. And now we need to add those wings. So for that wings, I'm using this image, so let's drag and drop it here. So that looks great. Now I'm gonna press Ctrl T to make it a bit smaller, and now we just need a single wing, so I'm just gonna select this one and let's delete this one and press Ctrl D. Now to get rid of this black color, it's really simple. Just select a magic wand tool and select this, but it's actually painted wings, not actual image, so edges are going to be really soft and really shaggy. So to remove those, go to select, modify, and select expand, and in the expand select 7. I have already practiced it, so I know the amount. Now that is really fine, but we need to make it slightly softer because the selection is going to be really rough. So now go to select, modify, and feather, and make it, let's say, 1 pixel feather. Hit OK, and now just simply press delete and it will get rid of the unnecessary parts. And there your feather is ready, and that looks great. Now I'm gonna press Ctrl T so that I can adjust it. Now hold down your control key and adjust it from this edges from here like this, and I'm gonna press it even a bit here too, so that looks good with the proportion, and maybe slight changes here too. So keep changing it until it looks fine to you, and it will take a bit of a time to adjust, but make sure the wings are really good, are in good proportion. So that looks fine, and hit enter. And now we are just going to simply flip this wing, so that's why we deleted that other wing. So I'm just gonna press Ctrl J and then press Ctrl D, and now right click and flip it horizontal, so we have another wing, and that looks great. Now I'm gonna use my arrow key to balance it, so that looks okay. So that is nice, not good as the original one, but that took kind of time, so that looks great. So select these two images and then press Ctrl E, so it's in a single layer now. And now just create a new layer between this one. Let's name it wings, so that's great. And now let's name it shadows. So here are the wings, and now we're going to paint the shadows. So select your brush tool, right click, and make sure hardness is around maybe 20%, and opacity is also around 15 to 20, so let's 16 is good. And now just simply paint it here like this, and you will have your shadow, and it will create kind of a depth, so that is great. And you can also paint with 100% and then decrease the opacity. That works really great too. And also a bit of a painting here, so not some heavy digital painting or some that stuff, just regular 2 strokes, and that is great. We can decrease the opacity a little if we want, so that is great. Now we need to erase only these parts, so what you can do is control click on your model, so we have selection of that, and select your eraser tool from here and erase this part. Sorry, you have to select wings first. So now erase these parts from here and then press Ctrl D, and see, your wings are there. Now the proportion should be a little bigger, I think, and I'm gonna stretch it even here too. Now hit enter. Now it's time to do some color correction on the model layer. So first of all, select all of this 3 layers and then press Ctrl G, so it will put it in a group so it's easier to manage. So now go to your adjustment layers and select where is vibrance and click this icon, so it will affect only the group. So when I increase the vibrance, it will work only and only on model. So I'm gonna put it to maybe 40 something, so that looks nice. And now the curves adjustment layers, so let's go and hit curves, and same thing with the curves. Hit this little button here and let's name it, let's increase it a little. I think my tongue is really sleepy today, I don't know why. So let's increase it kind of, yeah, that looks great, and decrease it slightly here, and that's way too bright. So let's it can take whole day sometimes, man. So that is great. And then let's go to red, and since the background is totally red, I'm gonna increase slight amount of red so it matches with the background. So that's nice. And let's go back to RGB and adjust it even a bit more. So I'm basically increasing the details in shadow so it looks really bright and nice. So that is great. Now if you turn it on and off, you can see that really big difference it makes, and that is kind of looking actually good already. I'm also gonna adjust the sky a little bit on top and make it even slightly bigger. So now onto some really heavy color correction, and let's go back, and what we have here is a solid layer with color code of DE7656. So I'm just gonna copy it, and you can note down the code too if you are practicing on the same, like with precise details. So go and select let's say solid color here and paste that code. So it's kind of an orange color, you don't have to actually follow the perfect code, just go with some slightly brighter desaturated orange color. And let's see, here we have blend mode of soft light, so let's just change it to soft light, and that makes a really crazy difference. But don't worry, we have something to cover it up. So here is color balance, and in the color balance, let's see the numbers. So we have quite a bit of blue in shadows and a lot of yellow, a little yellow in highlights actually. So let's go here and select new adjustment layer. So where is color balance? Here. And in the shadows, let's add quite a bit of blue. So actually let's turn off luminosity first, and here blue, so 74 looks great. And in the highlights, let's add quite a bit of yellow, so that gives overall feeling. So that looks already nice. And here let's see, oops, these birds, let's shut them down for a moment. So now we have this really cool looking flare here, which is really strong actually. So to create that, create a new blank layer and fill in the black color. So it's a black color. Now go to filter, then where is it, render. Okay, sometimes I also forget things. So in the render, select lens flare, and the lens flare put it on kind of this side, and then select 105 prime and make it kind of brighter, so that looks great. And try different lenses if a different one works better for you. So that is great, and hit OK. And now put it on screen blend mode, like this here, and your sun is ready, but it is kind of not really good looking. So go to filter, blur, and select Gaussian blur and apply a bit of blur, so that looks great. And even more if you want really smooth transition, so that looks great, and put it kind of on side. And now go to image, adjustment, and hue saturation, and here select colorize, and in the colorize increase the saturation a little, and then change the hue until it matches your expectation. So that is looking better, not like the original one. Let's see what color we have. So it's kind of orangish, so that looks great. Now make it big, like real big, and then only use the bright light that is coming. You do not need to use the actual bowl, like that circle that is really bright. So I'm gonna put it here. So okay, way too big. So hit enter and use only these bright parts like here. So we are done with lens flare. Not good as original one, it is really subtle if you look at this, see. So put it here, and that's great. You can also do it with like brush, and check out my other tutorials. I have many different methods for creating lens flares. I don't even remember which one I used in this. So let's go back here, and here we have the lens flare, and second last option. So tutorial is getting quite longer. So in the gradient map we have a custom gradient which I created myself. So first code is let's copy it from here. I will put it on with big numbers in editing so you can see it properly. And let's see here and select gradient map. In the gradient map, first you have to select simple black and white gradient, and then go back to select your black color and paste it this one. Hit OK, hit OK, and let's go back and copy the another color. So another color is, I actually should write this down so we can save a lot of time from next time. So let's see, let's go back here and paste this color and hit OK. So currently looks like a negative, but don't worry about it. And then change the blend mode to soft light. So let's go back and change the blend mode to soft light, and if you turn it on and off, you can see it makes really good difference. And if you want powerful effect, you can duplicate it. So that looks great, but really heavy on blue, so I would not recommend it. So we are actually quite close to the original, but not as good, but it's a tutorial. So in the levels we have nothing. I think in the blues we have the sliders here, so I know what I did. So here, go and select, where is it, okay. Sometimes this happens, like the thing is in front of you but you just cannot figure out where is it, even though I'm working for quite a long time in Photoshop now, but I still forget sometimes which thing is which. So add a bit of a blue, so that gives feeling. If you want really strong blue, I would suggest, yeah, you can do it since it's matching. And a bit of a yellow, so that looks great. Now it's time to add those birds. As you can see here, we have, see, where is it? So here are the birds. So I have this birds image and I'm just gonna drag and drop it here. And as I said, every image is available for download, so practice as much as you want, and show, like, you can also share like things on our Facebook page if you have done any kind of work, so that would be also awesome. And so we need to also get rid of this background too. So I'm just gonna go to select color range and select this one and make the fuzziness way strong. Hit OK, and I might feather it a little, so select modify, and in feather make it 1 pixel feather, and just delete the rest and press Ctrl D, and there are your birds, really beautiful birds, and put it exactly on top of the sky so it matches really nice with that sunny background. So now decrease the opacity a little so they seem like they are really in distant, so they are quite far away, so that looks great. And also the sun flare, so we can also decrease the opacity if it is way too strong, so that looks nice. And the final output is ready. I don't know why this tutorial was quite clumsy, so I'm really sorry for that. So I hope you guys learned something, and if you have any kind of questions, feel free to ask me in the comments. And if you actually learned something from this tutorial, so hit that like button so I can know. And you can also subscribe to my channel so you can have my future updates for every video I upload. And also check out this other tutorials by Tutorials Junction. So till then, goodbye, take care, and have some fun with Photoshop.